On October 1st, 2018, Richard Haas, president of the Council on Foreign Relations, wrote the USMCA looks to be the trade pact formerly known as NAFTA plus 10 to 20%. Then on October 2nd, the USMCA is NAFTA plus TPP plus a few tweaks. This article, published October 9th on the CFR website called the Coming North American Digital Trade Zone, outlines the similarities between the USMCA or NAFTA 2.0 and the TPP. As you can see within the article, early commentators have described changes from the old NAFTA as mostly cosmetic, meaning this so-called new NAFTA serves the same purpose as the original. With NAFTA, US finally creates a new world order, wrote Henry Kissinger in the Los Angeles Times back in 1993, and on October 10th, 2017, Henry Kissinger, while seated next to Donald Trump in the Oval Office, said that he was here at a time when the opportunity to build a constructive, peaceful world order is very great. A new world order, that is to say, which will not come into being until the woe of the fifth trumpet, when Satan and his angels, Daniel's fourth beast, are cast to earth. Revelation chapter 13 is all yet future. Until then, we see the Kenites setting the stage for the hour of temptation to begin through their four hidden dynasties of education, economics, politics, and religion, with the latest development being NAFTA 2.0. The proposed USMCA has been widely portrayed as a replacement for NAFTA, which supposedly will no longer exist, wrote Christian Gomez on the New American this past October 1st, yet an honest look, an objective look, that is to say, at the new agreement, the USMCA, shows that what will no longer exist is the highly unpopular NAFTA name. In fact, not only does the USMCA retain sovereignty diminishing provisions found in NAFTA, but it actually strengthens and expands them. Bruce Heyman, the former U.S. ambassador to Canada, said 2/3 of the USMCA is essentially going back to the TPP. All they did was take so much of the language of the Trans-Pacific Partnership and implement it here as it pertains to Canada. The same tactic was used to pass the Federal Reserve Act in 1913, renaming the plan and getting the people to think it's to make America first, a phrase used by Woodrow Wilson during his administration, which brought about the Federal Reserve System. And the phrase make America great again was used by Bill Clinton, whose administration brought about NAFTA, which according to Henry Kissinger back in 1993 will represent the most creative step toward a new world order taken by any group of countries since the end of the Cold War. And on the last page of the Grand Chessboards, the Big New Brzezinski called for a prolonged phase of gradually expanding cooperation with key Eurasian partners to help foster the preconditions for an eventual upgrading of the existing and increasingly antiquated UN structures. Not an upgrading of the UN, but of the UN structures, the existing and increasingly antiquated UN structures. That's why we see headlines like Merkel warns Trump against destroying the United Nations, the UN being the great horn of the he-goat that you can read of in Daniel chapter 8, in my opinion. The he-goat being symbolic of the Kenites and their shadow government throughout the globe, which is maintained through their four hidden dynasties. The great horn of the he-goat is the United Nations, and once this great horn is broken, Revelation 13 begins. The dragon stood on the sand of the sea is what verse 1 of Revelation 13 should actually read, letting you know it's not until Satan and his angels are cast from heaven to earth that the 5-month-long hour of temptation begins, which is when the new world order emerges, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, which means it will be a global political system, including all 7 continents, and those 10 horns are symbolic of 10 fallen angel kings that are cast to earth with Satan at that time, at the beginning of that 5-month period, when all 4 beasts written of in Daniel chapter 7 rise up together at the same time in a one-world political system. The lion being symbolic of the Christian nations, the bear being symbolic of the non-Christian nations, the leopard will be the infrastructure of this so-called New World Order, because at the woe of the 5th trumpet, the Kenites go from being the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8 to the leopard of Daniel chapter 7 and Revelation chapter 13, and Daniel's 4th beast is made up exclusively of Satan and his angels, including those 10 fallen angel kings that will reign 1 hour with the beast. Throughout the entirety of the 5-month-long hour of temptation, the beast beast in Revelation chapter 17 is a general term for Satan regardless of what role he plays. Remember, the dragon, which is Satan, gives that first beast, the political beast in Revelation 13, his power and his seat and great authority, meaning Satan will have to be here to bring that to pass, to confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, a week of years originally, 7 years, but as we know from Mark 13, those days have been shortened for the elect's sake from 7 years to 5 months, and we know it's 5 months from Revelation chapter 9. Forget about what you think you know and read what the Word of God says. Daniel's fourth beast is exclusively supernatural, and we know from Revelation chapter 9 that the locust army, which are the fallen angels, exclusively are only here for a 5-month period. So do the math, and there you have it. The locust army has 4 stages, and the gnawer, swarmer, and devourer happens in the first half hour of the hour of temptation in the first 2.5 months. Then the 5th vial is poured out, which is the deadly wound, upon the seat of the beast. Remember, that seat was written of in Revelation 13. The dragon gave the political beast his power and his seat and great authority. And then the 5th vial, which is the deadly wound, is poured out upon the seat of the beast, the first beast, the political beast written of in Revelation chapter 13. Then Satan appears as Antichrist at the woe of the 6th trumpet, the little horn of Daniel chapter 7. Satan appears as Antichrist at the 6th trumpet, the 6th seal, and the 6th vial, which is after the 5th vial, which is the deadly wound. At this time, there is no new world order. There is no global government, obviously. Look around. Wars and rumors of wars letting you know the end is not yet. The hour of temptation has yet to begin. Revelation chapter 13 is all yet future, as well as Daniel chapter 7. The woe of the 5th trumpet is when that one world political system emerges, then it's wounded to death, and then Satan appears as the false Christ. That's when it goes from being a one world political system to a one world religious system, and the true Christ will not return until immediately after that 5-month-long hour of temptation at the woe of the 7th trumpet, destroying Satan's role of Antichrist as well as his one world system, including his fallen angels. So Daniel's 4th beast is destroyed, in other words, which you can document for yourself in Daniel chapter 7 verses 11 and 12. So it is a biblical fact that Daniel's 4th beast can be none other than Satan and his fallen angels. Daniel's 4th beast, the supernatural, that's destroyed. Only Satan and his angels are damned, and the rest of the beasts, as you can see in Daniel chapter 7, have their dominion taken away. No more one world system, but their lives are prolonged for a season and a time. The time is the millennium, the 1,000 years, and after the 1,000 years are finished, when Satan is let loose one last time for that short season that you can read of in Revelation chapter 20. If they follow him then they're blotted out of existence in the lake of fire, along with the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit after the 1,000 years are finished and goeth into perdition, as you can read of in Revelation chapter 17. So there you have it. It's very simple. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. More information at mark13records.com, and as the true Christ says in the last verse of Mark chapter 13, what I say unto you, I say unto all. Watch.